Hey everybody, Dale here with Dale's Outdoor Adventures. Here to talk a little bit about my upcoming Camino de Santiago hike. For those of you that are already familiar with the Camino and are surfing into this site, some of this may be pretty basic for you. Some of it's for family and friends that have no idea what this even is or why I'm going over to Spain to hike 500 miles for 6 weeks. My plan is to leave September 1st. I fly out of Melbourne, Florida, connect in Charlotte over to Madrid, from Madrid to Pamplona. When I get to Pamplona airport, I really don't have a plan to get over to St. Jean for what most people consider the start of the Camino Frances. But I think what I'll have to do is get a ride share. I'll look for other people with backpacks that are going there, and hopefully I'll be able to get 2 or 3 other people to share the cab fare over to France with me. I'll probably spend the night there in France, the next day start my hike on September 3rd across the Pyrenees to Roncesvalles, and then onward all the way to Camino de Santiago. Hopefully get my Compostela, spend the night there, and then from there I'll hike on to the Finisterre, which is commonly known as the end of the world. From back in Roman times, they thought that was the end of the world. In Finisterre, I plan to hike up the coast to Murcia, hopefully spend a day or 2 there, and then take a cab back to Cabra bus back to Santiago de Compostela, where I fly out on October 15th. That gives me 42 days. That should be plenty of time. Really looking forward to this hike. All right, here's a zoom view from Google Earth, exactly where the Camino de Santiago is located. You start out on the very far south of France, cross over into Spain the first day, and then you're in Spain. It's about 500 miles long all the way to the coast. So for those not familiar, what is this Camino de Santiago? Camino de Santiago is considered a pilgrimage hike. There's a lot of different routes that people take. The most popular route is the Camino Frances. It's roughly 500 miles, and that's the route that I'll be taking. People complete it normally in 30 to 35 days, and some people like myself will continue on to Finisterre and then up to Murcia. That's about another 3 days to Finisterre, and then probably another full day hiking up to Murcia. And of course, I'll take some days off along the route. Along the route, we don't really camp out, some people do, but most people stay in albergues, which are similar to a youth hostel, where you stay in a room with anywhere from 4 to 40 people. You just rent in a bed for the night. They're fairly inexpensive. Usually, US is anywhere from $8 to $15, $20 per night. You stop there each night, and then in the morning get up and hike again. One of the most common questions I'm asked is, why am I doing this? Why hike 500 miles across the north of Spain? For me, I'm not really sure. I've heard a lot about the transformation that people claim to happen on the Camino de Santiago. It's supposedly a very transformational, life-changing event for them. For me, I'm starting out going mainly for the adventure of it. A lot of people go for religious reasons. It is a pilgrimage route. Some people, it's just very spiritual. And everybody has their own reasons for hiking the Camino. All right, so I've talked a bit about the plan and a little bit about what the Camino is. Let's talk about what I've done to prepare for a 500-mile hike. I originally thought I was going to do this hike in spring of 2018, but the timing wasn't right for me for various reasons, and it got pushed back. So now it's September of 2019 and into October. So I started walking. Originally I was walking with no backpack, more or less tennis shoes or hiking shoes, and I was walking on concrete or hard dirt roads, and I had friends going with me, and I was building up 3 or 4 miles a day, and my friends would go with that. Then I had to start moving up, and when I started hiking 5, 6, 7 and more miles per day, and my friends didn't really want to go so much anymore, so I found myself hiking by myself, and I started looking for trails in the area so I could get off-road, and I found that was wonderful. I really enjoyed the hiking off-road so much more. My feet didn't hurt as bad being on paths in the woods and so forth. Since then, I've been moving up to 14 and 15 mile hikes, and I've gone up to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I have some other videos on my YouTube channel, some trails that are quite difficult that I hiked up there that will probably actually be a little harder than what I'll see on the Camino. The trails in the Great Smokies are difficult, but I know the Camino is going to be difficult, especially some of the more difficult stages that go over the Pyrenees Mountains on the first day. And there's actually some higher mountains farther along the trail. I have acquired all of my gear that I'm going to need for the Camino. I'm going to do a separate gear video, so I'm not going to get into that too much right now. But I'm really excited. I have about 60 days, 60 or 59 days left until I take off. For those of you who want to follow along on my adventure, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll do really rough edit videos on the trail. Hopefully I'll finish them up and do better editing once I get back home. But if you want to kind of be there in real time with an update every 2 or 3 days, subscribe to my channel and you should receive a notification via email whenever I put up a new video. I do plan to release a gear video maybe a month before I leave, get everybody's comments back, where I still have enough time to make changes if it looks like I'm doing anything that's drastically wrong. This will be my first long distance hike and I'm really looking forward to it. Alright, so that about wraps up what I had for today's video. I will be releasing a gear video, as I already said, before I go, so I'll talk to you all then.